Okay, now I can.
How
Hey, how
are
are you?
you, Dr. Diamond Cutter in the house?
Oh my gosh, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Can I tell you something hilarious that I just realized? Oh, Emmy,
Yeah.
you guys can hear me back there? That's weird. Why, I wonder? Because it said that the mic. Oh well, thank God we weren't talking any smack back there because apparently they could hear us.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I know everybody gets a hot mic moment, so well, I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
glad that ours was very benign.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
Back to the funny thing that occurred to me when I was walking in here. You know how sometimes, especially if it's not somebody you really know or listen to, you just maybe hear people's names in other chats.
Yeah.
And you don't really necessarily have a face to put to the name.
Right.
When I was brand new on YouTube as a creator, one of the very first subs I ever had was Lisa V. And
Yes.
Lisa V, told me all about Mal and yada, yada, yada. So
Yeah.
many times I went over and listened to PayPal Mal. And I would
Hmm.
always hear it. For some reason, it was like when I was walking the dog, it wasn't me watching it on TV. I had headphones in. So I would always hear, oh, that damn cowbell, the bell. And
Yes.
Diamond Cutter. Oh, Diamond Cutter coming in hot. Da, 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 da.
Yes.
For the longest time, can I tell you what I thought
Yes.
you probably were? What I pictured in my head, because I didn't see
Uh-huh.
your avatar, nothing.
Yeah.
I thought you were a Hasidic Jew who worked in the diamond disc. I swear to God, I'm like, Diamond Cutter, Diamond Cutter. It's got to be somebody that's working down in the diamond district.
Let me tell you, it's so funny because you don't know really like, what you just. I think we all get preconceived notions in our head about what we think somebody. If you don't
Of
see them
course.
or whatever, you just hear them. And
Uh-huh.
for the longest, when I lived up north, I worked. I was in sales, and so I was on the phone a lot before I started going out and stuff. Anyway, so my customers I spoke to all the time, and I'm up north, so I mean I always got asked every day, "Where are you
I was going
from?"
to say,
With my
you think you
accent.
were a
But
Martian?
so the guy I ended up starting to date and actually lived with for about 10 years. He worked at one of the properties uh, that it was my customer, my account. And so we talked probably for 2 years. We had been talking on the phone, had never met or anything. And one Friday, it had been a rough day, rough week. And so we were getting ready I was at the end of my day, and uh, I had to call and apologize. One of my installers had screwed up. Anyway, I told him before we hung the phone up, I said, gosh, I said, we should go have a drink one day uh, after work. And he said, oh, yeah, maybe. Well, the following week, we delivered candy to the people that spent the most money with us and stuff. They got a certain kind of candy. So I
Oof.
was out making deliveries, and I actually went to that property. And the guy that I'd been talking, so we had went up and looked at a unit. And anyway, when we were walking back down the stairs, he said he was behind me. He's like, "Damn, if I'd known you look like this, I would have took you up on that drink offer." And I said, I turned around and I said, "What do you mean by that?" And he said, "Not to be ugly or anything." He said, "But I just all these years I thought you were a large black woman." He said,
It,
"In my
it
mind,
is.
I had you pictured as a large black woman from the South that could cook real good." That's what he told. I said, "Oh my God!" So it's just
It
funny how
is.
you have preconceived notions of what you think somebody looks like.
It is. It's so funny. Well,
And then
yeah,
we went to, and then
uh,
one day we went to the batting cages, and we were playing co-ed softball that summer. We went to the batting cages, and I was in there batting, and of course I was hooping and hollering, and I had a guy walk up to me, and he said, "Are you so and so from the company?" And I work. I said, "Yeah." And he said, "My God, I'm Taylor. I work." I knew when I heard your heard your voice. I said, "Oh hell."
I was going to say, they must have thought you had being up north. They must have thought you landed in a spaceship in the backyard.
Oh yeah, yeah. They always, people always try to guess, where are you from? Texas? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, ma'am. And you know
Yep.
what's funny? And I swear to you, hand to God, this is the truth. Throughout my life, I have had more people tell me they think that I get New York a lot. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't.
Laura thinks you're from New York.
I that does not surprise me. I have heard that my whole life. I'm born and raised in Florida, never lived anywhere else. And I don't hear it. I don't hear that at all. But
yeah, she was actually talking on one of her lives last week. I think she was comparing. I guess you had made the comment that you actually had, I guess, was agreeing, but you had said that you don't listen to her because you can't get past her voice. And Laura started laughing, and she said, I laugh at that whenever I heard it because I get it. I can't stand to hear myself talk either. And she said a lot of times people like us that are from up north or whatever, like, so she thinks that, you know what I mean?
I swear I'm not. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me because I've actually had people want to argue with me about it. I'm like, do you really think I don't know where I'm from? Why would I lie?
Yes, I
That's
know.
so funny.
That
That's
is.
pretty.
Well, my
That is
sister, my
interesting.
older sister, she lives in Florida too, actually, but she's been there for probably 20 years. But she lived in California before she moved to Florida. Anyway, I was down there visiting one day, and I had said something, and she said, "We need to work on your King's English." And I said, "What?" And she said, "We just need to polish some things," because she doesn't sound like she's from the South at all. You know what I mean? And I lived away from the South for, gosh, right at 30 years, and I never took on another. Unfortunately, I've always sounded redneck.
No, I don't think it's. I love your accent. When I heard you, I thought I knew the South for sure, but I don't.
Yeah,
I think maybe because I've just never known that many people from Mississippi.
yeah,
I thought maybe Louisiana, but then I was like, no, because there's like no Cajun in there at all. Oh, well,
yeah,
let's say hello to some of these
yes.
lovely people that are joining us. And then we might have to pivot because what I went to go look for, I couldn't find. So
It got took. Well, I don't know if it got took down. Okay, so I don't know. So earlier, go ahead and say hello to
okay.
everybody. I'm gonna get
Okay,
my
and then you
computer turned
tell
on.
me.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Emmy, headstones and headlines. Oh, Emmy, don't let I did do the suggestion in the YouTube studio. Girl, I did it just before I walked in here, so we should be good there. Oh, literally Davis fam, or it's definitely afternoon. Good afternoon. Kit Bridge. Now in Kit's neck of the woods, it might be evening because she's Norway.
Yeah.
I think it's Norway. Queen Bella, good afternoon. SoFlo Mama, how are you? Hi, True Texan. Gina Diamond in the house. Beer Can Island. Ms. Lee. Hey, Zen, how are ya? Zen making the world beautiful, one head of hair at a time.
Yeah.
See, Emmy says the same thing. Lisa talks fast like New Yorkers. Sometimes my mouth, I try not to let the mouth get ahead of the brain, but it happens to the best of us occasionally.
Oh, yeah.
Gina, I don't hear the accent either. I don't know for the life of me where anybody thinks I sound like I'm from New York. But I mean, clearly many people think that, so I must be wrong.
Is your husband's not from up north? Have you been around somebody?
No.
No. Okay.
Nope. No, nobody in my family, not my mom. Well, actually, I take that back. But not New York, not any place where you associate with, a distinct accent.
Yeah.
Ms. Lee, good afternoon. Brick with eyes. How are ya? Hi, Brittany. How you doing? I'm working my way back up to the top. Blank screen. Good afternoon. Okie Crime News. Hi, Blank Slate. How you doing? I'm kind of looking at oh boy. I'm looking at some of the comments closer to the top. Hey, Kia, Lurker, TT, the good Tiffany, Lady Pants. I love that name.
I do too.
Hey, Fit and Curvy, how are ya? Hey, Sue. But yeah, I was so surprised when I found out Diamond Cutter was not a Hasidic Jew.
Oh,
But you
that's
don't
so
have
funny.
it.
Yeah, that's so funny. Well, I used to listen to Scott H. Whenever the Summer Well stuff was hot and heavy and stuff in the beginning. Well, it's still hot and heavy. What am I talking about? But in the beginning,
I
uh,
know what you mean.
but I was like just always curious. So I was so surprised one day when I tuned in and he was actually live. I mean, completely not anything like I had pictured. In my mind,
I
it's just
know.
it's always interesting.
It is. That it is. Bash, the tragedy pimps in the house. How you doing? SoFlo. I think I already said hi to SoFlo, Mama. God, I'm old. I can't remember. Oh,
Oh,
that's pathetic. Wine, crime, and mayhem. All right, y'all. I think I made it back up to the top. And anybody I missed in the interim? Oh, Mama Bear, how are ya?
hey, Mama Bear.
Hey, Dis I am. How you doing? It's nice to see you. We had a Friday was a little chaotic. We didn't get a chance to chit chat too much, Dis and I. Gemini Mama. Now I think that's a new name. Welcome, Heather B. Beachy. Okay, so um, one thing
Yeah.
I
So
just
anyway, that
wanted to
day that they went live, whatever day that was, I can't remember. I think it was Saturday. Well, I ended up. So I had started listening to them, and my God, it's like watching paint dry. So I had stopped, and I was I don't remember what I was doing, but I got several messages saying that I was being summoned on panel. That I guess a Dizzle Fazizzle was like demanding that I come up or saying that I come up. So I'm not ever scared to take a link. So I hopped up and it was so anyway, they ended up booting me. They didn't, first of all,
I don't know
you
anything about that a Dizzle person. You know what? Before you finish with this,
yeah, go
let
ahead.
me just say one thing really quick, y'all. You can probably guess by now that what we were going to do is review what the hell's her name?
Jilly Bean, yeah.
Jelly Belly Beans. Um, but lo and behold, the live is gone. So but don't you worry, we'll improvise here on the fly. And the only thing
I,
I wanted to, I think I covered it this morning in the video, but for anybody who might not have seen it, on Friday when Dolly Vision came and brought his very celebrity self, graced little
uh-huh.
old me my chat with his, well, he's come in here several times, but
Oh yeah.
he actually decided to come up on the panel, not to, of course, have a discourse about why this, why that, but he was wanting me to look at, y'all, I was radio silent on YouTube all weekend. I had guests that actually did not leave until this morning at about 9. And I wasn't looking to traumatize everyone by
Right.
putting on the YouTube trauma streets. So, and it's not very polite to have company and then just go lock yourself in the bedroom like, bye, I'm going to go watch TV. So I had guests. I had some work I needed to catch up on. So until yesterday, for about an hour in the afternoon, I don't know what went on in this dump. But I did listen to Queen Bee on 1.75, and I actually came to find out that what it was Dolly was trying to email me was something regarding Gina that Gina herself talked about at least a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, hell, maybe a bit longer. But be that as it may, number one, I already knew about it, and it came right from Gina. So, but
Right.
all that, regardless of any of that, Emmy are, sharing with Dis the top mod #1 spot.
Mm-hmm.
She reached out to me after the show on Friday and said, well, I don't think you're going to get that email, because he kept saying, I sent it. And I looked at my email, not that I was going to be opening anything, but
Right.
I wanted to see if he was actually sending me something.
Yeah.
He kept saying, I sent it. And I'm like, I don't have anything. So Emmy, when I talked to Emmy briefly on Friday, she said, yeah, I don't think you're going to be getting any email because I accidentally put your email address incorrect in the chat. Well, it's crimesandfashion@gmail.com. I also have a Proton, same name. And I would have thought, even if 2 letters got transposed, let's just say this. If it was me and I really wanted somebody to get something and it looked like Crimes and Fashion at whatever.com, I mean, I'm pretty sure I just might have, put the thinking cap on. I'd have just tightened up that little place in the back where all the holes are on the hat, and
Right.
maybe just gone out on a limb to see if, well, gee, maybe I can come up with what it's supposed to be. Didn't get anything. But even if I had opened it up, if I had seen it, if I'd have looked at it and gone, oh my God, WTF is this? I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't get why.
Why did he think that I would have? I'm not like, that's just not me. I'm not like looking to ambush people, to dig into people's personal lives. So no matter what, even if I had gotten it, let's just say I had never heard about it before and I had no clue what it was.
Right. You still wouldn't have.
No, never.
Yeah.
I would never do that. I wouldn't do that to Dolly.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do that to Betty. I wouldn't do that to anybody. So sorry. And maybe it'll save the effort and, in the future at some point. So, okay.
Well, I don't know why people think that that's cool to do. Like, I mean, I have a couple of videos of MGL that would, but I've never played them. I've never shared them, and I won't. That's just not who I am. No matter what she's done, I don't roll like that. That's not cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why people think that that's okay to do that, to share somebody's stuff like that.
And you know what? Don't think that I feel exactly the same way. And let's just say it's not easy being one of seemingly just a few that actually have scruples. And just because I don't like somebody doesn't mean that I would go and do something gross and grimy. And
right.
And it's not, it's difficult sometimes to stand by your convictions when
Yes.
you know that the person, were the situations reversed, they would do that shit to you in a hot
minute. Oh yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, just like MGL, I mean, she fabricates crap. So yeah, so that day that so I went up on panel. Well, so they booted me because apparently they were wanting me to apologize for.
Do you know this A Dizzle person? Because I've only heard the name.
No, don't. I just know her through.
Uh-oh. You still there? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. My husband was texting me. So okay. Yeah, so I know a Dizzle from Marissa from over there. I don't know her, but I just know that she sure does have a big mouth and she tries to act like she's a big bad baddie. But
so she's been around a while.
Yeah, I guess okay. I've never been friends with her or even know that much about her. I just know that I've seen her supporting Marissa for several years now, I guess.
Okay. The last week, towards the end of the week, I did listen to your live where you played those two.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something that makes me crazy about this place. I heard your live. You did not say you did not say that fucking, what's her name? Jelly Bean. You
Jelly
never
Bean, yeah.
said that Jilly was autistic. Never, ever,
No.
ever. You said you heard that someone else had said just this. You never said, oh, yes, it's a fact. Yes, I believe it. And more importantly, yes, that's a bad thing. Nothing even remotely like that was said. So how those two dipshits conflated all that into, how dare you speak about autistic people and blah, blah, blah. That's a straw man. That's beyond a straw man. That's straight up bullshit is all that is.
Yeah. And why are they making it to be such a bad thing? That's what blows my mind. I mean, the fact that the word autistic was said, you would hell, according to them, I should have been strung up and freaking beaten to death. So even repeat what I was doing was I was reading
them. If they think that's bullying, they've never been bullied.
No.
And just for the record, some of the most brilliant people in the world are autistic.
Yes. And I have family members that are autistic and on the spectrum. And whether I did or didn't, I would never, ever make fun or be derogatory toward anybody with any kind of special needs. That's not who I am. I don't roll like that. So the fact that they were accusing me of it was crazy. And then to double down. So what I was doing was I was reading a comment. Somebody had come into, I was live and somebody had come into my chat and they had wrote this long comment and I was reading the comment and I got to the second line and I said, yup. Well, first of all, that word is not even in my vocabulary. I never say yup. I would say yes. I wouldn't say yup. I don't talk like that. So I was like, no. So I went back and I played it. And what I was saying, I read the first line said that Jelly Bean had been autistic. It was in past tense. I'm just reading what was wrote. And then the next line was, and she's clearly being manipulated by MGL. And they wrote several other things. So that's all I read. And I said, amen, I agree to the line about being manipulated. So when I went up on their live, I kept saying, I didn't say that. Yes, you did. I know what I heard. I said, well, you need to go back and listen, Joey, because I didn't say that. And I said,
there was nothing even remotely close to anything derogatory or negative being said. That right there, that's the kind of shit that makes me crazy.
Me too.
You can tell me I'm old, I'm ugly, you look like this, that, the other, you're stupid, the whole thing. I'm not going to ever try and argue with someone about an opinion because why would I? I'm not going to change somebody's opinion. What am I going to do? Say, well, I don't think that I'm XYZ. That's just, no, that's stupid. Say whatever you want about personal opinions, but when you start taking people's words and twisting them, I mean, that wasn't even twisting. That was adding to, taking away. It was complete bullshit.
Yes, it was. Well, it was grasping. They were grasping at straws. You know what I mean? That's grasping at straws is what they were doing. But
you know what I told Diamond Cutter when we were having a text back and forth about this. I said to her, I don't know this Dizzle person, but just the very little bit I heard her say, and I'm not putting the woman's business out here on Front Street. I'm not even going to say what I heard, but let's just say this. It was clear to me that she was in a raw place emotionally.
Right.
It sounded like due to a personal situation. So at least with her, I was willing to give her some grace and the benefit of the doubt on some things.
Yes, absolutely. Because it hit her personally. You could.
Yeah, no. I think that's only the second time I've ever even heard of the woman.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, not so much.
Well, she's kind of the mouthpiece for Jilly Bean. It appears to me. I mean, she tries to be the
I
mouthpiece when
think she
Jilly
is
gets her
fun.
when she lets her mouth overload her ass. I guess she thinks that she's going to come in and have her back and all that. Well, she doesn't need to have her back from me because I'm not gonna. I don't try
Of
to
course
harm Jilly
not.
Bean.
Of course
You
not.
know,
That's why I
and
made the remark. Like, if people, I don't understand how somebody doesn't like you, notwithstanding any kind of, personal relationships you've had with people on here in the past. But I'm talking about just, people that we listen to and don't have any personal, we don't know it from anybody but YouTube. I
yeah,
cannot fathom how someone has a problem with you, of all people. I've never heard you be even remotely unkind to anyone on here.
well, I'm a firm believer in treating people the way you want to be treated. And I, look, I get up every morning. I've made some mistakes. We all have. Nobody's perfect. I've made mistakes. I've made bad choices. I have stood in my crap. I've apologized. I've given apologies where necessary. But I am very confident, and especially being a 55-year-old woman, I'm very confident in my integrity and morals. I am, because I mean, it's taken me 55 years to get to be the woman I am, and I am proud of that woman. And I know personally, every day I strive to be better than I was yesterday. I don't always succeed, but that's my goal. And I sure as hell don't wake up. I mean, in my real life, I don't argue and fight with people. Why in the world? I mean, I don't want to come on here and do it. You know what I mean? That's not how I act in my real life. And I try to. So when all this crap happened with Molly, and the people that follow her, just automatically assume that they automatically take the stance they don't like me either, which is okay. I'm not for everybody, and I understand that, and that's okay. But don't lie. Don't make that crap and lie.
If you think you're not for everybody, like I'm seriously considering calling the Kevlar company and asking them if they could, can y'all work up a dress prototype for me, because I might need one. I mean, I don't get it. Here's the part. I just wish like everybody could get on the same page, in as much as, listen, just because we do, I mean, we all are talking shit about the other at various points, but not usually ever for just, oh, okay, let's see, I'm just going to do one of these and whoop, oh, okay, it's your turn today. No, when something of note happens, we all talk about it to varying degrees, but I don't know why people go from, I'm commenting on you, I'm doing commentary. It doesn't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean I want to see something bad happen to you.
Right.
Like, that's the part I don't understand. Why does it have to be like nuclear? Like, somebody doesn't like something you've said about their content, and then it's like, well, I'm going to sue you, or, anybody got any information on, this one's XYZ? It's so gross. I just don't.
That Dizzle, Lisa, she even went as far as saying that my video should be removed for hate speech.
Bitch, if you think that's hate speech, come on. See, I'm sorry. That is one of the dumber things I've ever heard on this platform, and I've heard some really stupid shit on here.
Yeah.
There's not a person in the world who would hear that. You take 10 random people off the street and say, here, listen to this clip, and then I need you to tell me, do you hear any kind of hate in there?
Yeah, I mean,
no, that's absurd, and that's the kind of shit I don't get.
Mean, hate bonding apparently with MGL. Well, anyway, so after I got down, I mean, they booted me because I wasn't going to apologize. Look, I would have if Jilly Bean had admitted that I didn't. Dizzle finally said, "Yeah, she didn't say that, but you said amen. So that means you were." being okay with the whole thing. And I said, okay, my gosh, no, I did not. That's not what look, what was said doesn't even go. So if you take that and break it down, if I had said, amen, girl, I agree, that doesn't make sense to I heard that she was autistic. Amen, girl. They didn't even go with that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have said that for that line. It was for the other one, the second sentence in that paragraph that I was reading. But they wouldn't even admit that. They wouldn't even, and I would have at the end. I probably would have said, look, if you took it wrong and if you felt like that, then please accept my apology, because I would have said, but I didn't get the chance. They booted me. And so it wasn't long. So anyway, I was getting ready to go out to dinner. So we ended up leaving, and I was on my way home from after we had dinner, we went to the grocery store, and my phone starts blowing up, and they said that MGL had went up, and apparently was just, oh yeah.
What's her name?
Yes, on the same live. She had went.
That's her channel, so why wouldn't she go?
Yep. And she doxed me, like they said, like 4 times, my full name. MGL was up there screaming like an idiot, brought up pictures, said all kinds of stuff that wasn't true. And so by the time I got home and was able to pull it up, she had took it down. So I don't know if they took it down, if they put it behind a paywall, but yeah, I didn't get to, which is okay. I could, it wasn't killing me not to hear it. I can imagine how MGL was. I can imagine. She was full of threats this weekend, I hear.
Hold on 1 second. We'll talk about that. I just want to say hi to, let's see, Evie Renee. I think that's a new name. Hello, welcome. Couple other people snuck in this door. KB, Stereophonics mom. How you doing? Carol Monsabayas. I think.
Yes. Hey, Carol.
Okay. I think we're caught up with that again. Okay, so yes, y'all, the original idea had been to the very stream that Diamond Cutter went up on, which incidentally, I didn't even know until right now that you went up.
Yes.
But a few minutes before I came in here, I went to find the video and I was like, oh, 4 days ago is the most recent. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe she went on somebody else's channel. But no, there's nothing there on the other chip either. Okay. Well, hey, Striker Force, how you doing? Jenny D, Helen Highwater. Okay, here's a new. Oh, Truth Hurts. Okay.
Striker Force for you, yes.
Yes, I heard that. I had thought about asking you once before if because for people like me who were not around whenever you and Molly were friendly, I mean, over time, I think I've managed to pick up and piece together most of what happened. I obviously I don't know the nitty-gritty details, but I did hear you one time on Science Girl, probably, I don't know, maybe within 3-4 weeks ago. And you all were talking about your experience, her experience. So I think I have a decent understanding of what happened there. And what I'm very confused on is why is there such bad? I hear a lot of like real anger for you when from where I'm sitting, that should be the other way around. And here's what I have to say to people who say, like, this stupid idiot, this fucking jelly bean. Yeah. People who say to you, and you just need to get over.
Yes.
Insert. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you when I would get over it. And that would be after, well, for somebody who likes to talk about lawsuits, I mean, I understand based on what I heard, there wasn't enough to bring about any kind of criminal anything. But
Well, I couldn't even get my local PD to take, they wouldn't even take a report.
which is
Ridiculous.
I feel like this. You were the person, and I'm not pointing my finger at Molly because it's not for me to do, because it's not my story and I don't know all the details. But you were the one, regardless of what anybody thinks about how it went down. I don't know how you color that right or remotely acceptable to do, whether she had a 1% out of 100%, even if it was only 1% of involvement that caused that to be out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You are the party who was wronged. And
thank you. Yes.
If you want to talk about it every day for the rest of your life,
Mm-hmm.
who is anyone to tell you enough? Stop talking about it. If they are free to exit the building if they don't want to hear it, but to tell you that you need to get over it, stop talking.
What's so funny, Lisa, is the people that say that they turn around and talk about it like it's their story to tell. They start talking about it and they go on and on and on, but yet they tell me, they're tired of hearing about it. Look, I tried to make a joke out of it and make it humorous.
What else can you do?
Yeah, what else can you do? So, but and if I had done anything to deserve even half of it, I would own it and say it. But the only thing I was guilty of in that friendship was backing off. That was that pissed her off. I started backing away. She started doing, it got worse. Each incident become more than what I could handle as far as a friend goes. And look, she wasn't like that in the beginning, or I never would have even joined her Patreon or been her friend. And if she was like that, she hid it very well. I didn't see it.
Listen, I don't know her as like any of you all do. And I have said more than once, and I'm going to say it again. I have never laughed so hard as when she was in Rogersville, Tennessee, in front of the CPS office, screaming her ass off in a traffic cone orange shirt.
Oh my God, yes.
I was laughing my ass off. She can be very entertaining.
Oh yes, she's absolutely.
I have no problem understanding what drew you, and clearly a lot of other people.
A lot of other people, right?
She
can draw you in.
No matter what, I cannot fathom as a woman. And listen, I've had some friends throughout my life that have sorely let me down, disappointed me, etc. As I'm sure I have them at some point. But outside of being maybe in high school or your very early 20s, I cannot imagine from one woman to another woman to do something like that as a woman to another woman. I mean, it's horrible when men do it, but that is a little more, I'm not going to say understandable, but I don't know another word at the moment. I can, while it's never acceptable, you can rationalize it a bit more with like a scorned dude.
Right, exactly.
A woman to do that to another woman, to play any part in it, no matter what it was, whether it was a 1% or 99%.
Yep. And I was a good friend to her. I mean, I absolutely was very good to her as a friend, and just knowing that we had broke bread and there was a close friendship to do it then takes it a step further as just being from woman to woman. So like I've tried to tell Jilly and them, so my issues with Jilly and them, Jilly started, so whenever Marissa did that night, then Jilly comes over to my channel a couple of days later, and she goes under my videos and she starts leaving these comments saying that she saw the pictures and my face, my makeup was running down my face, all this
So what?
line.
So fucking what?
Yes. So whenever I confront her and she denies saying that. She says that, well, I've got it in black and white where you said it. So so Jelly Bean, so that's what I said. They don't even know me, but they're piggybacking off of what Marissa said. They're taking that for the gospel. So another woman to then gang up on me because somebody told you something bad. Well, that just shows how stupid you are. If you're going to jump on that bandwagon and support her while she is tearing another female down like that. I can't get behind you either. Sorry.
I mean,
but
look,
you're
even sitting here in this seat, and obviously I'm a big fan of you, and I talk to you outside of here, but I'm not even sitting in this seat saying, fuck Molly, got light labor. No, because I don't know what. I don't know. It's none of my business, and I don't know all the details. But even I am not going to throw Molly under the bus in this situation because it's not my place. So it's just,
well, just like that stuff that Dolly tried sending you about Gina, you know, all that originated with Molly. That's the kind of person she is. You know, there's no low too low for her.
Spiteful.
Yes, very spiteful. There's no low too low, and that's a very dangerous person. You know, people that are like that, they're dangerous, and I don't, you know, I can't wrap my mind around it because I would never do that. So, but
I mean, I see, you know, the way just from sitting where I am, which is knowing nothing more about her outside of gossip, but just, you know, seeing YouTube stuff. What it looks like to me that she does is she's very calculating. I think she is not stupid, because I don't think you can be as methodical and calculating, manipulative, call it whatever you want. I don't think you can be that way and have nothing going on upstairs, because I think just based on what I've seen on here and the people that kind of congregate around her, because I think she is always the center of attention. It's always about her. And I think she surrounds herself with people of varying importance to her. And I don't need to know anything about Jelly Bean, and I know nothing about the other one, but I think Molly probably has a hierarchy of people that are useful to her for whatever reason. For whatever reason. And I don't need to know her to know that. And I can also say that Jelly Bean, she's way down here in the hierarchy.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
And no skin off my ass. She can fly Molly's flag for the rest of her life. I couldn't care less.
Marissa tries to be the female Howard Stern. She's got a little shock jock in her. You know what I mean? She knows that she says things that are, you know, but she does that for a reason. She's very, you're right. She's very calculated.
Yes. And I think it's.
Well, the BBC calls, for instance. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that the few that I listened to, they weren't funny because they were.
Wait,
whenever she said that people put her phone number out on that sex line, and that people were calling her, so she decided to turn it around and she started calling them. And
I could see her doing that, and I bet it was funny as hell.
Oh, it was. But so I made a video and said how disrespectful to her marriage that she was, you know, and she like got so pissed that I said that. But I'm sorry, but you're a married woman. And for you to go on, I mean, she was being so racist about it. She was talking about, because it was majority men of color that was on this line. And she would talk to, I mean,
I've never even heard any of this.
Oh my God. Some of them were like, oh my, I was sitting there with my mouth dropped open, and it takes a lot. So, but she would sit there and say, I like Snoop Dogg, and talk about eating fried chicken and wearing a do rag. I mean, very, very racist. Okay. And
Oh yeah,
I mean,
no,
people, and she was wanting people to super chat, and this went on and on. Then she started telling people to drop her numbers. You know, if you want to do me a favor, go put my number back on there. I don't believe anybody ever did it to her. I think she did it to herself, put her own number on there. But even then, you know, I mean, that what, you're a married woman, your son, his friends know about your channel, so, and they log on, so they're going to log on your channel and hear you on a sex line while a man is sitting there pleasuring himself, making the noises, and all this is playing out live. Yes, that's disrespectful. I'm sorry. My husband, I would never, first of all, he would kill me if I ever, but he wouldn't have to worry about it.
I don't think I'd be married much longer if.
No, I would never think about doing something like that and him being okay with it. No way. But yes,
I watched Deets yesterday. Well, it was this morning, but it was her live from yesterday. I think it was from yesterday. Aileen came on, Molly came on.
Oh my God, yes.
And I was listening to all that. And even though that's, and actually I was kind of glad that Deets did it, because we're several months out now from the Quentin Simon, from that insanity that took place out there.
Yes.
And I know that Molly definitely sees herself and wants to, you know, hold herself out as, you know, she's a big baller with, you know, she's got all this money. She's, you know, she loves all her designer shit. I ain't gonna hate on her for that, because I do too. But I very much know, I had to laugh because about 2 weeks, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, one of the clip channels, a smaller one, not one of the big ones that, you know, we all watch every day, they put a clip up of her fighting with that trash bag Sabata, whatever the fuck her name is.
Oh yeah, Michelle.
Yeah. Bitch. Yeah. And Molly was screaming at her. It was something about, they were having, I guess Sabata said something about a Kate Spade purse. So Molly was like, you stupid bitch, Kate Spade, fuck Kate Spade. And she was in her closet pulling out the bag. Okay, so my husband, I've got it on and I'm just laughing. And my husband looks at me and he said, she thinks that's a closet?
Yes.
I said, don't go there. But I mean, I do not, while I like all that stuff, I would never come on here. I know that having that shit, because that's all it is. It's crap.
It is.
Stuff. It's stuff. Most of it is overpriced. Not all of it is even made that well. But I know that while I like it just as much as she does, as do millions of other women, I would never look at her or look at anybody on here and say, well, I'm better than you are because I've got, you know, whatever it is, enter here. And that tells me that at least in some part, she thinks that that's validation, that being able to buy that stuff makes you XYZ, and it makes you better than somebody else who doesn't have that stuff, whether it's because they're smarter than me and Molly and they're like, fuck that, why would I spend that much money on shoes, bags, blah, blah, blah. Or they just don't care about it. That stuff, that's all it is. It's just stuff, and we can't take it with us. But so that I really like. I just cringe so much when I hear or see that. And for someone who clearly, I mean, I can only look at the people I see on YouTube that I know about in the last, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe year. And I never
Mhm.
watched Molly except on clips. So what I'm about to say, I obviously I don't know everybody she surrounds herself with, but the people that I have seen her surround herself with in the time that I've been on here causes me to say it certainly looks to me like, if I had to just make a guess, I think she likes to surround herself with people who she feels she is superior to.
Exactly.
In
Yes, she
some,
does.
in some form or fashion. She thinks she's got more money than you. She thinks she drives a better car than you. She thinks she's got a nicer purse than you, better clothes than you, lives in a nicer house than you. She's thinner than you, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
So when I see someone who fancies herself as so superior to other people based on all the things that are meaningless, it's interesting to me that I watched Dietz replaying that insanity in front of Quentin Simon's house, and I tell you
Yes.
what, every single one of those people out there was acting like straight off white trash.
Yes, they were. I have to say,
Vile,
Laura
vile.
streamed some of it, and Laura even said, which surprised me. Laura even said, both sides was wrong, and they were. I mean, that was the most. That was, boy, talk about
Wait,
making an
what are
imbecile
both
of yourself.
sides? What do you mean both sides? Who?
Talking about when Eileen was up there and Marissa and them,
Oh,
like neither,
okay,
yeah, that
okay.
both, that but what what they're doing
I
right
didn't hear.
now is uh I had not have said this. Make no mistake that Marissa did not leave this community quietly like a little mouse. She didn't get kicked out, and she just
I
went
don't
and
think she's ever
started minding her.
left.
Yeah,
I
this is
don't
a
think she's ever
campaign.
left.
Yes, all this a lawsuit shit, all of this is she's
Oh
behind
yeah,
it,
what's
and
that about?
she's got a campaign. Yeah, she's got a campaign running behind the scenes, and she's threatening everybody, and she is just full of crap. She's got Where's Waldo over there, throwing his name around like he's a damn sniper or something, like he's gonna take everybody out. Where's Waldo? He's a damn accountant. He's not a lawyer. Who does she think she is, threatening people with his name?
I Okay, see, I didn't get to that part because I only listened to, well, I came in, I think Deeds had been on about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. I listened to it live for just a bit, and then I went yesterday, and then I went back further this morning, or did I see it on a clip? I'm not sure, but I didn't even know that there was talk. Now she's talking about suing. I know she had made the comment previous
Mm-hmm.
about something about, oh yeah, I'm talking to lawyers and blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
so now she gave a little more information. What's
Yeah,
that
she was
about?
talking about being from a Commonwealth state that Queen Bee better be careful because her and Dolly both are from a Commonwealth state, and legally she's one up and basically got a leg up on everybody. I guess is what she thinks.
He's
She's
telling
gonna be
them,
lucky if a lawyer if somebody don't come knocking on her door serving her with some papers. That's what she better be looking for.
hey, Forgotten Whispers. We had a couple more sneaky in here. Kathy P, how you doing? Xena with
Yep.
Fire. I'm sorry if I Forgotten Whispers. Deanna M. I'm sorry if there's anybody on
Crime and mayhem.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Hi Beverly. I just find it, I'm sorry. To me, I just cannot fathom in any situation. Can I tell you what would happen if I had a performance like that and my family got wind of it?
Oh my gosh.
And I
Yes.
tell, I mean, I, that would no way, no how, in no situation would that ever be remotely acceptable. My mother would be on the phone saying, "You have embarrassed me. You need to take that off of the internet." If I
Yes.
ever showed, I mean, it was very interesting to be able to be removed from some of the really, crazy emotions that were happening while that was going on. And I hadn't thought about that in quite a while, but I
Yes.
still felt exactly the same. I mean, honest to God, it is shocking. Like, if I could just ask Molly some questions, one of the questions I would ask her, "Hey hippie, how you doing?" is, for someone who fancies herself, a hoity-toity baller,
Mm-hmm.
like, why do you have a friend like Betty? Because I'm sorry,
Exactly.
in nobody's world is Betty.
Well, you hit the nail on the head a while ago whenever you said everybody serves a purpose in her little scheme. You know what I mean? Everybody has a purpose, or she don't have anything to do with you. She has no use for you unless you can play a part in her life.
So what do you think, Betty? Like, what? I can't imagine having inviting Betty to come and sleep in my guest room.
I know. I think what's so funny for Marissa to act so confident and everything. I honestly think that she looks up to Betty, Lisa. She looks up to Betty. She admires Betty. Let me just say that. She admires her
What?
tenacity. I think she admires her tenacity, and
Like,
she
she
thinks
doesn't
that
have that in spades?
I it's a different level. I think that well, let me just say this: the fact that Betty's got a little grit about her. You know what I mean? I think Marissa is just in all of that, and it blows my mind.
You're going to have to define grit then, because
Well, yeah,
I don't see where Betty has anything that anyone would admire.
yeah, me either.
I can give you the absolute, if by grit you mean the willingness to make a complete and utter idiot out of your house
Yeah,
or
and
out of
also you've
yourself.
got to remember, it goes back to, like, when you're rejected by somebody that you want to be friends with, or a relationship with, and they, it kind of makes you want them even more. Well, remember, Betty and them, they, excuse me, they left the Airbnb in Tennessee and left her butt there to fend for herself when she so they kind of, and they kicked her out of the
They did?
organization. So I think
What?
that made, oh
I
yeah,
thought Molly started it.
she did start it. And
Then how did
and
they
then
kick her out?
when they went to Tennessee, they kicked her out, and they kind of supposedly dissolved it, which they never really had anything to dissolve because the name was already taken through the uh whoever you go through the nonprofit. That name was already taken, so the paperwork had never been sent in to where it was officially a nonprofit, but they were still going under the guise of that. So after Tennessee, when they left her in that hotel, I mean the Airbnb, and they all left and kind of like said, we're not going to be on the
I
same
didn't
team
even know
anymore.
that.
Oh yeah, Betty turned her back. I mean, so it was several months there. They keep Marissa out of her own damn thing, and that affected her in ways that I don't even think she was aware of. So it made her like really want to, she wanted something. I think that's what the attraction is to Betty. It's like she feels like she's going to be, I guess, dropped at any time, because Betty's done dropped her once, if you can believe that, but she did.
I'd have written that bitch a thank you note. I mean, wow. Yeah, I just, maybe it's because I don't know. I guess I'm so like it just, I just can't wrap my mind around, because to
That,
me, you can call yourself whatever you want. You can hold yourself out as being superior to everyone because you're better in every way. But the main way that I see she kind of holds herself out as better than others is her in a financial way. Well, I don't care what she has. It makes no difference to me whether she's the richest woman in Pennsylvania or the most broke. It doesn't matter. Because let's just say that I've never known anybody. There's always somebody who's got more. When you want to hold yourself out as, I'm better than you because I have a nicer purse, I've got a nicer car, and blah blah blah. There's always somebody who's going to be looking down on you for the same reason.
Oh yeah, well, like when she, Adrienne would drop her off at the bar and go home and then come back and pick her up. And one night she went live, and she was in the bar. Well, she's up at the bar and she's buying everybody that would walk up there. She would like pick their tab up. Well, several people were side-eyeing her, and I would too. I mean, you don't even know this. I mean, she was doing it to try to make herself look like she's some wealthy person, and then 2 days later, she's on her live, e-begging because her credit card, she can't pay her damn credit card bill. I mean.
She admitted that? Like she said she needed to pay her credit card bill?
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. Yes. It was embarrassing how she would like beg for super chats and cash out. Oh, yeah.
Here's my thing. I'm always interested in like, well, let's just say this. I have never, nor will I ever, I'm never going to walk around and show people my house. I'm not going to open my garage and show you what's in it. I'm not going to open my closets, plural, and show you what's in them. The only reason that I come on and I tell you what I'm wearing is because the freaking channel's called Crimes and Fashion. It's a gimmick.
Yes.
That's it. It's not because I'm like,
Yeah, you're not trying to rub it in people's faces.
No,
yes.
I would never do that. So,
no.
And it's a besides the fact that it's in very poor taste to, kind of flex to people what, because we all should know by now the internet is smoke and mirrors, okay? And we all use them to varying degrees. But it's I'm curious, I'm always like pondering, what is the point where someone goes from starting to really, pick up speed and grow a channel? What's the point where you leave your privacy, like when everything is for public consumption? Your family life, your home, your everything. I don't know. I could never do that. I will never.
This is no lie. This is safe. Yeah, well, her Where's Waldo is a lot like, I mean, there are two birds, cut from the same cloth, because when she was doing those BBC calls, one night or one day,
he was stand for first. When you first said that, I'm like, oh, I like PBS Masterpiece Theater. Is Molly subscribed to BBC on Amazon?
Yeah, a big black cockadoodle-doo.
Oh, yes, definitely not affiliated with Masterpiece Theater.
No. So, but that's what she would title her lives. BBC calls tonight, and people would come in, and then she would sit there and
that was funny as shit.
But Walter is in the living room. You can see his feet on the. Yeah, you can see Waldo sitting in the living room with his feet on the coffee table, hearing her. I mean, first of all, to do it, period, is mind blowing. But to do it with your husband in the next room that can hear you, being enticing, and oh my God, it was like, that was just strange.
Yeah, you know what, and it's like, I understand I have a very traditional marriage. That's all I'm going to say. I do it. Not everybody does. But yeah,
So do
I would
I,
no longer
regardless
be
of what you may
married, but-
hear. So do I.
Huh?
I said, so do I, regardless of what she may say. So do I. I mean, I don't know how she would know my sex life. Well, but the things that she has said has been like, I mean, third world, embarrassing.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't know. I guess call me whatever you want. Call me a prude. Call me whatever. Yep, that's me. I would never in listen. Even my girlfriends. It's like, listen, I'm not telling you mine, and you don't need to tell me yours. That's
right.
Like people. It's interesting because Molly's not that much younger than we are. So it's interesting. I kind of, with people who are younger, like maybe 30s, 40s, even, well, I understand people who are quite a bit younger who, like, privacy is not something that, like, we grew up without this.
Right.
This internet. Thank God.
Yes.
For me, anyway.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely. Yes, thank the heavens. We got something to base it off of.
Yes. And even if I like, I have a grown man child, and and he did grow up with all this. He doesn't do his whole life wasn't out on display. Obviously they do social media of some sort, I guess. But it's not like
yeah.
Hey, what do you want to know? I'm going to tell you whether you want to know or not. It's just, I just feel like I don't know. It's too bad because I think that she can be very funny.
Yes.
And entertaining. But the part I don't get is like your situation. And I'm not asking you to get into that, but
right.
That to me, there's and she's not alone. I see this in other people why is it that we have to go nuclear? Like when somebody makes you mad, it's, all bets are off. Fuck you. I'm coming for everything you love and hold dear.
Well, if I did do something like that, even if I wouldn't never do anybody, but if I did, I know me, I would feel so guilty the next day I would be so ashamed of myself. And so I would be so ashamed of myself that I did that to another human being. I guess, that has empathy that she doesn't possess. You know what I mean?
It's immature thinking.
Yes.
And to me, well, it's immature behavior. I don't know what the thinking is, but it is very, I mean, it's just puzzling to me that, well, here's how I'll put it. I know many women around our age, close enough, of all different walks of life, career, socioeconomic, etc. And I don't know any that are fully evolved mentally, where when someone makes them angry, instead of just saying, bye, fuck off.
Yeah.
You want to be spiteful, vindictive.
Yes, revengeful. Yes.
It's either, to me, it's either an immaturity or it's another personality trait that I also do not understand.
Me, and and then to get up there and profess to be a life coach, and then to act and do the things that was just like oil and water. That's oil and water. That she wasn't doing herself or her business no help by even publicly admitting that.
People do. They Google you.
Yes. And then she, her mother passing away, rest in peace to her mother. She could have taken that, and she could have went, if she wanted to be so public about it, she could have shown what it's like when you lose your mother battling something like that, because it did come on quick, and she had a feeling before they found out, she had a weird sense that something was going on with her. But she, instead of doing it tactfully and with grace, she made that a spectacle also. I mean, everything,
I'll
I
tell
don't
you
know.
this, when that happened, because I was around when that happened, and I absolutely said, I think her mom had already, I think even the day before her mom passed, I had done a live, and I know I did one in the immediate aftermath. And the first thing I said, and I don't even know the woman, Molly, or her mother, God rest her soul. But just as someone who's got class and manners and tact, and just as a human being, I said, my thoughts go out to her and her family on the loss of her mother. And I said, I don't want anyone to say one word in the chat about her mother or what the family is dealing with unless it's sympathy. And no one, that's all there was. Yes. So I see a lot of, and I'm not directing this at Molly, but I see a lot of on here, they want to kick you when you're down. And
yeah, it's not, you don't, to have so many good people, there's also that many bad people that would, like you said, kick you, get off on seeing people, hurt and being part of that.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know why so many people cannot. I think I heard you say something that I think is very true. I think sometimes the problem comes in when you were saying, I think to Jilly Bean, that, Bob, what are you doing? Hi, let the dog in. That if you're going to be on here, you've got to get, listen, you're going to need to get a thicker skin.
Yeah.
And I think where the problem comes in, at least for some people, is when you don't have that thick, even a semi-thick skin, because I think
exactly.
And I noticed some of these are younger. They're quite a bit younger than us. And when I said the other day that being, not for everyone, but oftentimes being secure in yourself, well, that comes with age, that comes with making lots of mistakes. And when you feel okay about yourself, you don't, who cares if someone tells you you're old, you're this, you're that.
As bad as it sucks to get old, I have to say it's very rewarding, because I haven't, look, in my 20s, I mean, I'm not, definitely not who I am today. I can tell you that. I wasn't as confident, but now, I mean, something happens when you get older, and you just, for most people anyway. I mean, there's still some that,
that's why youth is wasted on the young, and it very much is.
Yes.
But I think that accounts for some of the problem is when
maturity and age.
On and they do get, hopefully not hate. I mean, that's another thing people do. It's like everything is hate. You're hating on me. Just because I say something that you might not like, that doesn't mean I hate you.
Right.
Hate is way overused. And I think that if you aren't secure in yourself for whatever reason, I think when someone does say something that you don't like or you don't agree with, especially if you're maybe not the brightest bulb in the chandelier, well, then that is what they do. They go for the jugular, because that's all they know.
Yes.
I'm going to get your information and, put it all out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, vindictive, spiteful.
Yeah, because in real life, Marissa wouldn't wipe her feet on Dolly Vision or Betty Bullhorn. I mean, really and truthfully, in the real world, if she wasn't on YouTube, she would not wipe her feet on them. I'm just telling you, she's that uppity. She thinks she is anyway, but yet, she takes them into her.
There is an odd dynamic which does exist on here, because that is very much the case. We all are in this hood.
Mm-hmm.
We are all,
right.
Even though we very much may resemble what you were just saying with,
mm-hmm.
Molly, on here, you kind of have to, at some point, you are going to associate with people that maybe would not be your cup of
right
tea.
in your real, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think that's
yeah.
a very legit, but there are limits to that.
Yes, and even though there's people not my caliber and that are above my caliber, I would never judge them. I mean, I'm not gonna publicly get on here and judge them. She got up there one day and was talking about, well, I am from Mississippi, so that says it all. I mean, okay, really, bitch? Okay. And then talk about people living in trailers and mobile homes. I mean, so ugly. That's just so, like, I would never ever do that.
Well, I have to say, I have absolutely been guilty of that. I've put foot in mouth more than once on here where I have made a remark like that, and come to find out that somebody I very much like resembles that. And but I will absolutely cop to it. That's another thing that's odd on here. Why is it so fucking hard to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, I shouldn't have said XYZ, but I did, and I apologize? Why is that so hard?
I don't know, but it is. It is for a lot of people, it seems. And I'll admit it. I mean, I'll stand it and admit it. That's why we are who we are at the age that we are, because we've stood in it. I mean, when it makes you be, going through making mistakes and going through, all these trials and tribulations that life has offered, and you've taken, makes you who you are. You either, buck up to it or you cave. Yeah,
I mean, very much. I agree with that. I say all the time, they call me Zsa Zsa for a reason.
Yeah. I tell my nieces, I tell my nieces and people that are younger than me, not to let life define you. You know what I mean? I said, it's so easy to, pack your bags and stay right there, but don't let life define who you are. You define your life. You take over and you rule it and run it the way you want it to be. It's easy to pack your bags and stay in the same spot. But
you know what? Honestly, I will say that some of the most successful with it people, and when I say successful, I am not just talking financially successful, just very well-rounded. They have a career they love and are great at, family, just whatever that means to them.
Right.
Most of the most successful people I know, adversity builds character.
Yes.
If you never have any adversity in your life, I know some people that have never had adversity, and they're poorer off for it, because I think there are things that you do not understand and you do not mature and grow into when everything is easy for you. So
that's right.
I mean, I've been very fortunate in my life, but no matter what, I always had a really good start. Like
Yes.
I was very well aware of what was and what was not acceptable. That doesn't mean that I didn't say, well, I know I'm not supposed to, but I'm going to. And I was
Yes. I
more than
know.
willing to cut,
Right.
and I did, but I always knew it was like there were things that I guess I try and bear in mind not everybody comes from a place where you are taught values,
Yes.
morals,
Yeah. Right. A
standards.
lot of people don't have the groundwork laid for them. That's for sure from their home life.
That's very true.
But where I look at that, Lisa, is the older you get, then to me, it makes it even worse when you make bad decisions whenever you get older, because look, that's what life is about. It's a big lesson. And just because you know, my dad was, I mean, he's a prime example of why you don't have to be what your past is. I mean, my dad had an awful childhood growing up. It was rough, and he rose above it. You know what I mean? He decided not to, you know, he wasn't going to be a product of his environment. He wasn't going to do it. And he wasn't. But a lot of people choose to waller in it and stay there, you know, and those are the people I don't have much tolerance for, you know, because you don't have to, you can be poor, but you don't have to be trashy.
Exactly. And it's kind of like being clean and having a clean home. That
Yes.
has nothing to do with money.
No.
Being clean doesn't cost anything. So I
No, it
very
doesn't.
much I get what you're saying. Oh, let me just say hi to a couple people that have come in while we've been yakety yakking.
Hey, Lisa, let
Yeah.
me jump down real quick. I got to
Okay.
make a phone call. My husband's blowing my
Okay,
phone
no
up, but
problem.
I'll come back and chat as soon as I get through.
Okay.
Thanks for having me up, and we'll
Okay.
chat. All right, bye.
Cannoli Roly, how are you? Lost mother of one. Good afternoon. Beth. Hey, nonsense. How you doing? Blank slate. I said hi to you, didn't I? I think I did earlier. Hello again. Okay, I think I've gotten caught up. Hey, Julie. All right, so, well, sorry, y'all. I have somebody, actually, I guess the dog, I don't need the text because the dog will let me know. I have somebody who's got to come over and get, we've been having some work done at a rental house that we own, and our fabulous contractor guy, handyman, but my God, he's like contractor level. He only takes cash. So he's going to be coming on by to get some money. And I told my sister-in-law, I said, tell him to text me when he's getting close, because I'm doing a live. And oh gosh, Julie, well, I don't know why I highlighted that comment, but I'm glad you love DC. Now, was that DC as in Washington, DC, or as in drama community? And where are we? Are we this? I always say I'm firmly entrenched in what I would call trauma. So Diamond Cutter and I, this was not what we had planned. We were gonna do a watch and react to Jille and the other one, the Dizzle lady, who I don't know anything about. But yes, imagine my surprise when it was poof, gone. So I thought that was interesting. What else has gone on over the weekend? Let's see, there was Queen Bee. Oh, you know where I got to in Queen Bees from the other day? I got right up to the part where they started talking about the YouTuber that caused a riot over, it was in New York. It was some kind of giveaway he was going to have? I don't know what that was about, but that's right about where I stopped listening. Oh God, cold coffee is disgusting. Let's see if I had anything else written down. Yeah, this was definitely not what we planned on doing, but that's all right. Shit happens. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you guys. Hold on. And you know what? Since we've been talking about all this, I really would be interested in talking to, I don't know, maybe talking to somebody that I've never talked to before. And y'all, I have said this several times the last few times I've gone live. I've said it many times throughout the course of my YouTube career. And I mean it, but it bears repeating. Just because I may crack jokes about you and I may review you, I don't have any hate for anyone. There are definitely people that I think are straight off trash, dirtbag lowlife, but that doesn't mean that I would ever do anything to cause hardship for anyone on this platform. And I find myself always going to this place of like, why is it that some people do take it so nuclear? But I think I answered my own question just a little while ago. Not everybody is at the same place in their life. And I understand that. But kind of like Diamond Cutter said, you got to have thick skin. I mean, hell, to hear, well, never mind. I was going to make a comment about something that I saw that somebody had said about me. And I was just like, I was like, wow, really? Well, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I am open to criticism. I truly are. I truly am. I know I am very well aware of what my personal, I'm aware of what some of my flaws are. Many, like, I'm probably aware of all of them. And I feel like this place very much runs on ego/personality, smoke and mirrors, and money. And my God, money and ego are two things that really bring out the beast in people. So I do understand how, listen, I've always said, for people who don't care for me, I can very much, I get it. I understand it. I could come up with several reasons why that might be. Not everybody can do that. And I think that it's also easy. I know, at least for me, I lose sight of the fact that YouTube fills a number of, let's just say, needs in everybody who's on here and has a channel. And everybody's on here for different reasons. But I I hope that people do believe when I say I do not have any malice for anyone on here. And I'll tell you what, I am very open to, there is really nobody on here that I would not have a discussion with if they wanted to talk to me. There's lots of people I'd like to talk to. And I'd like to pick their brains, because I look at somebody like Molly, who very much seems to, put herself out as, see, I just don't, while she and I like some of the same things, I would never come on here and tell you, oh, do you like my new Tom Ford purse? $1,800, $2,800. Chanel bags, they're quite a bit more than that. I was not brought up that way. You do not. It's kind of like this. If you know, you know. I would have been reprimanded swiftly if I ever, it actually makes me uncomfortable. I get like a visceral reaction when I see people who want to tell you what they have and what it cost. Because I was just raised that you don't do that. Like, that is not something we do. And like I said, if you know, you know. So while I see Molly as, hey, Corky Carlotta, how you doing? Well, I see her very much as someone who holds forth that I think having designer things, etc., and all the other things, I think that while I understand that, it doesn't, like, that should never define who you are as a person. And it is gaudy, it's gauche, it's tacky to tell people how much you spent on XYZ. It is. Because, like I said, many people, even if they can afford it, just cannot see the value in spending 4 to 5 figures on accessories, we'll just say. And that's before the decimal point. So while I can understand the enjoying things like that, and if you run around in a social group where most people have what you have, there does become this competition to, it's the expression's old as time, keeping up with the Joneses. We all know what that is. So I do not take issue with anyone showing you their bag, or, I don't do it, but I'm also sitting in my office in a different kind of setting than she uses. I believe she sits in her, somewhere near her living room area. I guess if she's at her dining room table and she's just walked in the door and she throws her purse down, well, then I guess I can see how she might have her purses out. I don't do that because it would look, if I did do that, there was one time I did come in here with a Tory Burch bag that I was getting ready to walk out the door, and it just so was that I was coming in to do a quick little video and I had it in my hand and I thought, oh, that's so cute. But that's the only time I've ever come in here with a purse. Because for me personally, I just feel like, listen, I got to wear clothes and I got to wear shoes. For me to walk in here with handbags, well, then that is exactly what it looks like, which is this is just me flexing, like, look what I have. If this was a straight up fashion channel where I didn't do this kind of stuff, well, then, that would be a different story. I guess what I'm trying to say in a very zhuzhed up kind of way, what I'm trying to say is I get it and I see what she does, and I feel like only she knows the real motivations behind it. But, I've seen enough of her to know that I think she fancies herself superior to a lot of people on here. I don't know about her real life. I would say it's probably, if you do it on here, it probably seems pretty natural. It would just carry over into your real life. But whatever. I'm only commenting on what I've seen on here. So it always has made me, if I was like Molly, then I guess I would do things like she does. If for no other reason but my own I'm not interested in giving all of the internet every piece of my life. That's something she definitely is willing to share much more of herself than I am. But it has always made me wonder, like, how do you hold yourself out as this bougie bitch and you're a baller, but you run around with just straight off trash? Like, I don't get it. There is no situation in this world where Betty would find herself in my guest room. No, there's just not. So that, I don't know, it just, like I said, smoke and mirrors. But yeah, when you think that what makes you superior to so many of, at least on here, we're all kind of in the same neighborhood. We're all, I hate to use the word peers, but that's kind of what we are. Hey, Sticky, how are you? Oh, listen, there's all kinds of ways. Listen, girl, you don't even have to do that anymore. Her comment says something about Nordstrom's and their, let's just say, very liberal return policy. Present day, like no other time, there are because of technology and all the things it's opened up to all of us, you don't even have to do that anymore. You don't have to work that hard. If you're trying to put on airs, and I'm not saying she is, but if, let's just say you are that person and you want people to think that you're, uber financially successful, which incidentally, not for nothing, I know I've said this 1,000 times. Hey, Nikki O'Shea, how are you? Genty, how are you? Most people who have real wealth, they will never, ever tell you. They do not discuss money. I think the example I used before was, here's how you know. Here's one of the surefire ways to know you are more than likely a baller. Your home has a name. Yes, your home has its very own name. You own a vessel that is large enough to employ a full-time 365 days a year staff, like below deck. Yes, those and many other things. Or oftentimes, like, maybe Warren Buffett, who lives in a very modest, at least he used to, and I think he still does, lives in a very modest ranch style home in Nebraska and is giving all his money away to God. Can you imagine that? Now that would be some irony if you were the child of someone like Warren Buffett, who has generational money in perpetuity until the end of time. There is no one from his DNA bloodline, if he had done things well. If he didn't want it to be otherwise, they would never, ever, no one from his bloodline would ever again have to work a day in their lives, but he didn't want that. Wouldn't that be some irony for you? Warren Buffett is your dad, and it's like, well, sorry, you're going to get, you'll get $1 million or what I don't know what he left for his kids, but he's been very open and honest about it. And, Warren Buffett is very much about giving away almost all of his wealth to charitable organizations. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm very well aware that things are done for tax purposes, and I'm sure, even though it may look like it, and what they say and show, it may very well look like the kids are only going to get a very small, what would be paltry drop in the bucket. It doesn't mean that is actually going to be the case. Incidentally, I know someone who pledged that much. Warren Buffett got this initiative going of other uber wealthy people, wildly wealthy. And this person has also pledged to give away most of their giant fortune. And I think it was last year around the holidays, I went into a local restaurant, and there that person was. And they were actually sitting right behind me. And after hi, how you doing? Nice to see you. Then, just sit down and go about your dinner. And, when somebody is directly behind you, because these were like banquettes. So when someone is sitting directly behind you, it's easy to hear what's going on. And I can tell you that person, you would have never, ever known in a million years that they were anyone different from me and everybody else who just wandered in off the street for dinner. There was no, do you know who I am? No. So I'm not just sitting up here as, a windbag pontificating on things I'm really don't know anything about. Of all the people I've ever known of wealth, whether it be great, as in not millionaires, but billionaires, or, just someone who's very comfortable. The one thing none of them ever did, that's not to say that there's not plenty of rich assholes who go around telling you how rich they are. But those will be the ones that the other rich people are like, oh yeah, that's so good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they typically do not treat people poorly. And they definitely don't run around telling you how wealthy they are. That, it's kind of like, oh, what is it in the law? What's the Latin for it? Oh, what is it? Mens rea? Is it mens rea? The thing speaks for itself. Now I'm going to need to look that up. Is it? There's a legal term, and it means, in Latin, it translates to the thing speaks for itself. Let's see. Is it mens rea? I think it is. Where's Betty when we need her? Nope, that's not it. Okay, so now we'll do it like this. The thing speaks. Oh, there it is first. Damn it. No, not that. The thing speaks. There we go. Let's see. Oh, res ipsa loquitur. I knew it was Ray and something. Yes, the thing speaks for itself. So while I share Molly's great love of all things designer, to the comment from Sticky, where I was kind of going with that is, for anyone, whoever you may be, if you want to play the role of baller. Oh, now here's a new name. Sav, is it O? Sav O, A-U? Sav, oh, Sav O, Sav O, Sav. I'm sorry, Sav. Welcome, Sav. It's with the internet and sites like Rent the Runway. God, what's another one? I don't know. I've never used any of them. I actually did think about using one of those rental services when I had a black tie event to go to. And, I didn't want to buy this dress, spend a fortune on something I was going to wear exactly one time. I mean, I'm terrible. I don't want to wear anything more than once anyway, besides my jeans. My jeans I wear forever. And I don't ever need another pair of jeans as long as I live, because I've got stacks of them in every wash, every style, every color, skinny, wide leg, everything in between. I hardly ever get rid of my jeans, but anything else, I'm not really interested in having to, and I'm lucky. I don't have to. But if you want to play the role and make yourself appear to be a real baller, at least when it comes to your clothing and your accessories, etc. We have all these places, which, thanks to the internet, you don't have to just go to a store and buy something and return it. But none of those things, they don't define. They will not define you, because much like the ridiculous statement that I just made, that I don't want to wear things over and over. And when I say that, y'all, I don't mean t-shirts and shit like that. I keep all that stuff. I'm talking like dresses, real like work clothes or going out stuff. Because even if you can afford, you like it and you can afford it, you're a lucky girl. and you can have all of the designer clothing and accessories and shoes you want. Well, after you have something for a while, well, you're going to still want something new. So it's just none of that stuff. While there's many of us that like to have that stuff, I would never, ever acknowledge or think that any of that stuff made me any better than someone else. It absolutely does not. If you are a vapid, broken, empty, miserable bitch inside, well, who cares what the hell you wrap the outside in? It doesn't matter. So it just, and what those comments I just made, I was not directing that at Molly. That's directed to anybody who resembles that. Just because you can, I mean, look at how many crimes that we've talked about at various times or another. Like, I don't know, Robert Durst, or other crimes that have been committed by people with a lot of money. Just because you've got a lot of money, or at least you want people to think you've got a lot of money, that doesn't mean you're a decent person. People with money do bad shit too. So it just makes me cringe to see anybody using whatever their financial position is as a cudgel to another person, because it's gauche, it's tacky, and res ipsa loquitur. The thing should speak for itself. People are not stupid. Well, not all people. We definitely have some stupid ones rolling around here, but most people are pretty savvy. And what's that little tune that one of the housewives? Oh yes, money can't buy you class. No, it can't. That is one thing, and it is very true. It'll buy you almost everything else, but it will not buy you class. And there was something, what was I going to ask you guys about? Something I jotted. Oh, yes. Tell me what you think of this idea. Because it's very easy to get pigeonholed on here. You start talking about, other creators' content, doing commentary. And I am very much aware that you do begin to get pigeonholed. So I don't want to get to the point where all I talk about is the other creators. Now, listen, I like dragging some of these people because it's hilarious, and they need to be drugged. That's the bottom line. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody has to, and there's plenty. Trust me, we know that. But some of these people, they need to be drugged by all of us for various reasons. So, but there's other people that, what do you think about, there's a family I used to watch on here. And I truthfully cannot even remember their name at the moment. I do remember the father's name. But here's just a very generic rundown. And I'm sure the minute I say this, if you've ever watched, you're going to know exactly who I'm talking about. And I hear they have some very rabid fans. Oh, hold on, Sab, I'm looking. Oh, you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. Well, yeah, I agree. And you are correct. That is a very old saying. What about some of these people who exploit their children for money? And some of these children, I'm talking about children who are unable to give their consent to be exploited. I see it as exploitation. Not everyone does, especially the one that I am thinking of. And I honestly, if my very life depended on it right now, I cannot remember their last name. I remember the first names of all the parents and the child. I do not remember their last name. But let's just say that their child will never be able to consent, no matter how old she is. She can't consent. And before I ever had a channel, I used to watch. Now, I never ever cared for them, but it was one of these things where I just kind of stumbled onto it. I don't know why it came up in the algorithm, but it did. And I watched a few videos. Oh, hey, as the fucker returns. How are you? Oh, your name always makes me smile. So I watched a few of the videos, and the more I watched, the more pissed I would get. And I remember I literally would be yelling at them. I made my husband watch, and I'm like, can you believe these people? This is so vile. And my husband was like, my husband will always, and this is just him. This is why my husband is such an amazing soundboard for me, for any. I go to my husband for everything. He is my bellwether. And if my husband gives me the side eye, then I know, no, you're barking up the wrong tree. But even my husband was like, well, he offered some, well, maybe they're doing it for XYZ. And I'd be like, no, fuck that, it's gross. They have a daughter who is autistic. I believe she's autistic. She's nonverbal, and is never going to be verbal, from what I understand. And they are, well, last I saw, because I haven't looked at them in, well, you know what? I think since I started my own channel, which was maybe a year and a half ago. The first channel that I blew up, and then, I came back and, hey, Mama the Gladiator. Oh, Lost Mother of One. You talked about it on Queen Bee. Okay, so here's, without me calling it out, because, oh, yes, Truth Hurts. That's who it is. Yes. Oh, my God. Yes. Fathering Autism. ASA. You guys, I have not. Okay, now I haven't watched in, well, it's been at least a year. I could actually come up with probably, if I thought long enough about it, I could come up with some kind of a landmark to gauge how long it has been. But I don't know. What do you think? I can tell you, after watching them for quite a while, oh, to say I felt some type of way, whoo! To say I still feel some type of way, even though I haven't watched them in about, well, I don't know. All I know is the cars got better, the house got bigger, and woo, from where I was sitting, it was looking like it was all coming from the income from their YouTube channel. So I don't know. Oh, Lost Mother of One. You're thinking of a different one? Well, if you want to put it in the chat, you can. Oh, Truth Hurts. Very interesting. Okay, your son is autistic. And yeah, oh my God. Let me tell you something. I remember when he caught serious, absolutely well-deserved heat for, we'll just call it the bathroom episode. So, I don't know. Would anybody be interested in? Look, what I'm getting at is I'm tired of talking about these same people all the time. So we need to find Lost Mother of One. Maybe if you just Google like whatever you can remember, it might pop right up in the results. So yeah, I was thinking maybe I'd do that. It would definitely be something different than I've done on here. And let me tell you, you think that these tragedy pimps invoke some type of emotion in me? Like anger? Oh boy. Oh boy. That dude, those two. Oh, I could not stand them. And it was funny because you want to talk about a hate watcher. I was an absolute hate watcher of that family. I could not stand them. I thought that they were, you want to talk about exploiting the shit out of something. Wow. So I don't know. I might have to catch back up with them today and see. Truth Hurts. Are you here for it? Okay, so who's the Doherty doesn't? Is it pronounced Dougherty? Doherty? So yeah, there's that. I think that could be something. And I'm not saying that well, Lost Mother of One, God, trust me. Girl, I can be talking and like just whoop, it'll go. That's why I'm not as good about being able to read the chat and yakety yak, because I'll get distracted by something shiny in the chat and the yakety yak just goes away. 12 kids. What the fuck? I'm sorry. How the hell does anybody have 12? Okay, so you guys, here's what we're going to do. Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to make a community post. I'm writing myself a note right now because I don't want to forget. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to make a community post. And I'm not giving up talking about our usual dirt bags. Okay. I'm going to stay on the neck of the tragedy pimps when, oh, Truth Hurts. Interestingly enough, that's when I met. Listen, Dad Challenge podcast. I found him because of the what the hell are they called? Fathering Autism. Yes. Okay, so this is how long ago this was. He was still a little teeny weeny tiny channel. He was a channel like the size of mine. Hey, Running Bear, how are you? Oh, okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a community post and we'll do a poll. So we're going to put up one of these exploitive families, whether y'all want to see me, I want something new. Listen, and you guys don't want to hear me talk about the same people every day. I'm getting bored with them, quite frankly, is the problem. And obviously when they ramp up and do something particularly, when Molly comes and sues the pants off of all of us, then yeah, we'll talk about that. But you know what else? Really, I can do some really funny commentary on is either 90 Day Fiance. I haven't watched Oh, I was going to tell you guys something, but I can't because it'll dox me. Let's just say this. My son ran into one of the 90 Day Fiance people over the weekend. Oh, yes, because, more than one of them have lived in the state of Florida. When he told me, I was like, who? And then he's like, the one, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, I said I hated that bitch. So, how about we do a reality show? We could do, 90 days pretty easy. Mama Bear, you'll watch it? Here's the only thing I'm not sure about, and I've always heard that I know there's lots of people that review these shows. Does everybody who review them do it just from notes? Because I've always heard that you can't play their content, but you guys know how often I pause. Can you imagine how long it will take us to get through a 90 Day Fiance episode? We could be here a week. I'm going to look into that. So here's what I'm going to do. I need to go walk my dog because he's down here. He's already given me the fair warning, and now we're on to hey, Glenda. Oh, Sister Wives. You know what? I used to watch Sister Wives. I have not watched it in seasons, but oh my. Lindsay, the woman that's in prison in the Bahamas for putting a hit on her husband, she was having an affair with the Cabana Boy. Oh no, Ms. Lee, it wasn't me. It was my son. Ran into one of the 90 Day Fiance people. I can't tell you because if I do, it would totally dox me. Most people know I live in Florida, but they don't know where. Oh God. Oh yes, Brittany. Yes. I would drag them for filth. Maybe, you know what? We could just do that. Maybe I'll just do that just because. So I'm going to put a poll up. I'm going to give you some choices, and then if you would answer the poll, and then I don't know if there's a way for you to do more than just, take your pick. Is there a way to take your pick of A, B, C, D, whatever, and then, because I don't know if I want to get it quite as specific as, I was thinking more along the lines of, okay, one choice could be, do you want to see me review one of the, what do they call them? Family vloggers. We could do a family vlogger. Do you want to see watch and react with a reality show? I don't know if I want to get it quite as specific as 90 Day Fiance. Or I think what I'll do is I'm going to look and see other people who review the reality shows and how they do it. Because if I can do it by doing a watch and react where I actually can watch the content like we do here with, everybody I review. If I can do it that way, we are absolutely going there. We are going there, and we will probably go there this week. I will get caught up because I haven't watched 90 Day Fiance in ages. I used to love that show. And if y'all think that I've brought you the funny when it comes to the flunky YouTubers, oh God, I can tell you, I will bring you the funny. Like it, I will have you in tears. Oh, Brittany, I agree. I think they are absolutely 843 Creeker. Yes, it's commentary. Yeah, watch and react, whether it's a tragedy pimp or we were just actually talking about finding new things to, do commentary on. So yeah, is that what a lot of people call them, reaction channels? Yeah, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But for the most part, yes, it is. Oh, why? What's going on? Mom of the Gladiator, I think I know where it's going. I did pay attention. I paid attention. I've never seen Bad Girls Club. What's hilarious is I have the damn Discovery Plus, and I'm terrible. I pay for it and I never watch it. I'm like, I don't even know why I have it. You guys, I finally canceled my Netflix because I never watched that shit. And they constantly raise the price. But I've got HBO Max, Discovery Plus. I've got torrents. My husband's like, honey, can please, you don't even watch. Are you watching the Netflix? If you watch it, keep it. I don't care. But if you're not watching it, we have so many of these. Can we get rid of any of them? Because now they're starting to overlap. Like Discovery merged with what used to be HBO Max, and now it's called just Max. And yeah, now in the HBO feed, you get all of the Discovery shows. So, all right, so but yeah, I never watched Bad Girls Club. Oh God, what about that damn Love After Lockup too? Did I ever watch? You know what? I don't think I ever watched it myself. I used to listen to a podcast that reacted to it. So I think that would be a good one. Oh, Sav, are you talking about the what we were going to do? Oh, my channel was on your recommendation. Well, thank you for coming by. Sorry, today was supposed to be a different episode, but what we were going to react to, well, it was dirty deleted. Okay, so Love After Lockup, that's another one. Yeah, you guys, I have gotten I guess because who needs all of these reality shows when we have the YouTubers? I mean, I feel like I get my drama reality fill every day on YouTube. So I did. I really just got away from watching any of those shows. But I think it would be fun to do watch and react to one of those shows. So I think I'll do the poll. I really want to tell you the BS. Oh, mom of a gladiator just put it. Give me. Okay, here we'll play a game. We'll play a guessing game. Was it a boy? Was it a girl? Is it live? Is it Memorex? Oh, I replaced your reality. Well, my goodness, that's a ringing endorsement. I'm good. I'll take that. Okay. Hey, Sofa King. Oh my God. I used to watch all the Housewives franchises. So much of that shit, though, it's not even, it's far from, oh, Mom of a Gladiator. Are we still playing the game? Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Is it live? Right now. Let me see. Maybe I can just go. Oh, okay, wait. I need to write this down too. The last hours of Mario Biondi? Oh, shit, I just got rid of Netflix. Am I going to have to get it back? I'll find it on a torrent. Mario, ow. Biondi. Okay, that's one. And then the Bahamas story. And it was over because the wife wanted. She lost $7 million in a jet for a fucking cabana boy. Oh my God! Was her name Falwell by any chance? Do you remember the preacher? They were swingers. Was it Falwell? No, wait. I think it was. Remember at the Fontainebleau in Miami? He, yes, the good reverend. He wanted to watch his wife. With the, they were doing the horizontal tango, him and the nude. The wife and the cabana boy. And my goodness, the church, the church was signing the checks for. Well, thank you, Sav. I appreciate that. God, and actually, I feel bad for anybody who wandered in here today and it's the first time. Sorry, we're usually a little more funny and listen to me. My God, I sound like fucking Betty. I'm speaking in third person. Oh, bad. God, oh God, I'm embarrassed. Oh, I cannot believe I just spoke in the third person. My God, am I going to have to issue a small, mea culpa to Betty? No, I'm not. I'll just make sure I don't do it again. Bob, what are you doing, buddy? Please don't throw up on mommy's wool carpet. Well, Sav, enjoy new carpet. I'm going to need a new carpet if the dog keeps hacking on my lovely wool rug in my office that I'm standing on and he's like, no. Oh, I used to watch the Jersey Housewives. Oh, Deanna, my God, I remember that case. That was so awful. And that actually had a Florida tie. Of course, because listen, you cannot have a murder in the continental United States that does not involve some tie to Florida. That it's a requirement. Oh, he's he's a Bichon. His name is Bob. But Bob I would pick him up, but he's really old. He's about 13, and he got his summer haircut the other day. I took him to the groomer and I said, all right, listen, his hair was pretty long. It was like that. And Bichons have, their hair is very tightly curled. So you have to, much like a poodle, you have to comb it, and it's like an afro. It grows and it gets really big, and they look like Bichons when they have their full groomed coat. They kind of look like a topiary. What a topiary dog would look like. But when I said to the groomer, listen, usually he goes every month. For some reason he was behind, and it had been 6 weeks. And I said, look, if I'd like to keep his coat if we can, but if you get 911 stat, what's going on? Oh, hi, Nikki Blue. That's a new name. Welcome. Mom of a Gladiator. No, hold on. You were 58 seconds behind. QBs. Oh, okay. It's going on right now. Am I being streamed? Gosh, is that how you know you've made it in this dump, when you're being streamed? God, if I am, please, I wish you'd pick up, please. Well, I mean, hi, hey, and thank you. But gosh, please come back when it's a more exciting live. This one isn't that exciting. But the dog, I told the groomer, I said, if you can keep his coat, that would be great. But if he's too matted, just shave him. I basically told her, listen, she knows he's old. He's been going to her forever. I don't want to stress him out just to keep his topiary afro. So I picked him up and he was bald. So you know who he looks like now? Do you know who Clifford, the big red dog? Do you know who Clifford's little friend is? I think Clifford's friend is Cleo. He looks exactly like Cleo right now. If I pick him up, he's going to get all nervous. So, okay, so wait, Nikki Blue, this is my life. I'm not going I ain't going nowhere. So family and all y'all can exploit me. Hell, I exploit my own self. So it's all good. I promise. And this is Tiffany. Tiffany, by the way. Tiffany. Who's Tiffany? Tiffany, do you have a channel? Stream the stream. Oh my God, it'll be like the mirror at the fun house or Romper Room. Remember when she had the mirror and it was like the fun house, the spiral, and you just keep looking at it and you're like, so it would be me streaming the streamer and streaming the streamer streaming me. I wouldn't know if I was talking to myself, if I was listening to myself. Listen, I have a hard enough time keeping myself. I have a hard enough time keeping on the road on my own damn live. I can't be streaming somebody else, streaming me, streaming them. Blah, 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 blah. Enjoy. Who said your name, Becca? What? I am so lost. What? Who said your name? I was excited when she said my name. Who? Mama here. Hi, Queen Bella. How are you? Stream the stream. Okay, I need another hint. Who's Romper Room? Yes, dude. Oh, okay. Oh God, Stereophonics. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Usually I'm the only one who's lost. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And Tiffany, I'm still trying to figure out who's Tiffany. I mean, if you want, you don't have to tell us. Oh, SoFlo. Did she? Oh, I tell you what, when I was in Dallas right after she opened her first store in, well, not her first store ever, but I think, no, it wouldn't have been the first one in the Dallas area, I don't believe. But she opened up oh my God, the most gorgeous store in Highland Park. It was so stunning. The whole front of the store, she just had huge galvanized buckets full of roses, hydrangeas, peonies, you name it. I mean, it's like a dream. The whole boutique is just gorgeous, is the only word for it. And the flowers all fresh. Do you know there is a bakery in London, and I believe it's called Peggy Porschen, P-O-R, I think it's P-O-R-S-H-E-N. And if Love Shack Fancy was a bakery, it would be Peggy Porschen. Look up Peggy Porschen on Instagram, and it's a very much in front of Peggy Porschen. There is an old school London phone booth that has been painted. They call it a phone box. I think it's called a phone box. It's been painted pink, and it's filled with flowers. It's what Love Shack Fancy would be if it was a bakery. But no, SoFlo, I'm actually going to look. It's interesting that you say that. I hate panda bears. I don't even know any panda bears. It's interesting that you say that because I do not typically ever read Architectural Digest. And let's just say that a family member told me I needed to, well, they sent me a link, and it wasn't, I think it was from 2022, I think, or actually maybe it was the beginning of this year. And it was, there was a family member's home that was in Architectural Digest. And I was, so yeah, when I saw your comment, I was like, how the hell do they know I was looking at Architectural Digest? Oh God, y'all, my sciatic nerve it's about done. Oh, SoFlo, yeah, I love Love Shack Fancy. You were talking about crimes. Crimes with ties to Florida. Yeah, like every crime has a tie to Florida. Y'all, I mean, honestly, I don't think there has been a prolific serial killer that has not rolled through Florida or has some ties to Florida. So, well, sorry for the, oh God, Queen Bella. Yeah, wearing 6-inch heels definitely does not do anything to improve the sciatic nerve issue. But oh God, what's really bad for it is sitting. And then by the time it starts screaming, and it's usually much worse on my left than my right. But by the time it really starts screaming, which reminds me I need to cap that candle before I walk out of my office. Well, Deanna, yeah, I don't, that's probably will not be happening. Oh God. Oh, a suitcase. A suitcase. A suitcase with somebody's body in it, or what? I didn't see the previous comment, so I'm like, what? We were when I say serial killer, you say you think of which. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out who is Nikki. Like I said, I don't even know any panda bears. Actually, did I? Oh, panda bears, incidentally, they're very mean. They're really cute to look at, but they're really mean. Kind of like me. I'm just kidding. I'm not mean. Oh God. Lost mother of one. Yeah, it is. It's so bad. And it's one of those things that's like you can't do shit for it. I've never found anything, but by the time it really starts screaming at me, it's too late. I mean, oh, Florida murders have suitcase. Yeah, I mean, Florida, oh God. Maybe Texas, maybe only second to Florida as far as the, you know. Oh God, Mama Bear, I thought it said you were pregnant and had sciatic. I was like, oh damn, girl. Oh no. It's I've done injections for it. No, it didn't do. It did nothing. And they're not the most pleasant things to get, although I have to say I went to an anesthesiologist who did them. So he as I mean, you're never going to say it's pleasant, but it's as pleasant as is possible when, getting needles bored into your neck, back, hips, whatever the case may be. Oh, listen, the weather in Florida has just been, the humidity is so vile, and we get a lot of rain in the summer, and nobody has to tell me that there's weather coming because, like most older people, if you have arthritis or any of those issues, you can feel it. You can feel it in your bones. Really? Oh, one of those like Kim Kardashian waist trainer deals. I tried one of those. I forget what there's some, that's all those stupid things are that those girls wear that they think are, they think they're like a fashion. They've discovered something to shrink their waist this big. It's like, yeah, that's a friggin' brace is all that thing is. Oh God. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just age, and it is. I have degenerative disc, like I think pretty much anybody gets at this age. So pain man. Oh my God, they put you to sleep for certain. I guess for certain things. What I had done, they did They didn't do anything. I got a shot of like Novocaine or lidocaine first, and then I just remember I was totally freaked out by it. And the doctor, though, he was good because he knew, like I said, I'm really not excited about this. And he's like, yeah, well, shockingly, no one is. And he like, I tell you what, if he hadn't, you could tell he did so many of these that he literally like took me by the hand and talked me through the whole thing. Like when he did the lidocaine, and they did it under like an x-ray. There was a machine on top of me, and it was guided. The needle that he was using was guided by the imaging. And he said, okay, now right about now you're going to feel it's going to be warm, and it's going to be a lot of pressure, but you're fine. Don't worry, it's totally normal and it's fine. And I'm like, are you sure? Listen, I'm somebody who has believe it or not, for being as small as I am, I have the few times in my life I've had to have surgery, and not the fun surgeries, not that kind. One time I had to have like a cyst taken out of my wrist because it was laying on, it was a ganglion cyst. It's very common. And usually they don't do anything for them, but mine was wrapped around some nerve bundles. So they had to take it out. And I was on the gurney going into the operating room, and I'd already talked to the anesthesiologist, but when they put the little mask on and they tell you, okay, now you're going to feel something warm, might burn a little. I want you to count backwards from 10. Well, most people, they come in and they talk to you, and based on your height and your weight and if you take meds, they have all kinds of factors they use to determine how much anesthetic to give you to put you down. Because the idea is quite obviously to keep you all the way sedated through the entire procedure and all the way alive. And interestingly enough, one of the drugs they give you when you go completely sleepy night, general anesthesia, is Versed. And the reason they give you the Versed, at least what I was told, is Versed, they do it in combination with other drugs, but Versed is a partial amnesiac. So should you wake up, oh God, that'd be my nightmare. You would forget about it and wouldn't be traumatized for the rest of your life. But as they, oh, yeah, I feel the burning. Yeah, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I said, I'm almost at 1. And the guy, he had a great sense of humor, and he said, don't worry, I got a whole hospital full of stuff. Don't worry. We're getting there. And it did. And they noted it in the chart. I knew they did, because the next time I had to have something done, when the anesthesiologist came and talked to me, he said, oh, yeah, I see in your, because if you go to a big healthcare system, your chart notes and all that, they're all integrated in the computer. And he was able to see the charts from the cyst thing. And he said, oh, yeah, they did have to, for as small as you are, that's interesting. But he said, I've seen the exact opposite too. Big ass, football player, meathead looking guy comes in, 350 pounds, and, you give them half of a Tylenol and they're unconscious. Well, kids, this little dog, as well as my sciatic nerve, they want me to stop and take care of what they're screaming at me about. I'm going to do the community post, and I want you guys to tell me what should we review next? We need to have fun with new people. So I'm going to do that at some time today. And to anybody that came in that was new today, welcome. And I'm sorry, this one was kind of all over the place like a ping pong ball. And this was not, listen, I don't clickbait. And I definitely will never lead you guys to believe that you're going to get something that you're not going to get. But yeah, what Diamond Cutter and I planned on reviewing was Dirty Deleted. So, all right, kids. I keep telling you, I don't even know any pandas. They do say pandas are very mean, though. All right, kids. Have a good day, everybody. And, well, y'all, maybe if I can get my shit together tonight, maybe we'll do. Maybe I'll go check in on my old friend, whatever the hell that guy's name. Oh, yeah, the Fathering Autism guy. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll see. Yeah. We'll just see how it goes. But let me just look real quick at my calendar. I think I'm around all week. I don't think I have a whole lot. Let's see. You know, all us bored housewives. What was that bitch's name? Something AF. Well, this bored housewife, I got nothing but time this week, kids. All right, everybody. I hope y'all have a great day. And maybe I'll see you tomorrow. If not tomorrow, definitely Wednesday. All right. Have a good day.